Welcome, student. Today we are going to look at Statistic 2 in Form 4. We are going to calculate mean, variance, and standard deviation from the given frequency distribution table above. In the table, we have max, which starts from 45 to 49, 50 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64, all the way to 75 to 79. And then we have the number of students, which is frequency 3, 9, 13, all the way to 1. So by using an assumed mean of 62, calculate the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation. So we need a table. We need a table to calculate the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation. So we are going to have our table. We are going to have our table which contain class X, and then which also contain the frequency. So let us start. Let us have our class. So for our class, and then we said we are going to have X. Then after X, we are also going to have what we call frequency, which is F, given in the table as the number of students. And then we are going to have what we call the D. So first of all, let us continue with this one. So for the classes, it is just the max, which start from 45 to 49. The next one is 50 to 54. The next one is 55 to 59. The next one is 60 to 64. The next one is 65 to 69. The next one is 70 to 74. And lastly, we have from 75 to 79. And then what did we say about X? We said X is just upper boundary plus, that is the upper limit, sorry, it is the upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So in case of 45 to 49, my X will be 49 plus 45 and then divide by 2. From this one, we are going to get, if you put it in calculator, you are going to get it is 47. So the class from 45 to 49 is basically 47. And then the next one is 50 plus 54 divided by 2. We are going to get 52. This one the same, you are going to get 57, 62, 67, 72, and then lastly we are going to get 77. And then frequency, we said we obtain it as the number of students given in the above table. So we said the first one is 3, this followed by 9, followed by 13, followed by 15, followed by 5, followed by 4, and then followed by 1. And then after this, we need to have what we call deviation. We need to have what we call a deviation. Deviation, D. How can we get D? Deviation, we know D is always X minus A. We have X in our table, 47, 52, 57, 62, all the way to 77. And then A is already given. What did we say? They said our assumed mean A is equal to 62. That is our assumed mean. So let us now get the D. The D. So the first D will be X, which is 47 minus 62. So just place it in a calculator. You are going to get it is negative 15. So this one I'm going to get negative 15. The next one is, the next D will be just X, which is 52 minus the assumed mean A, which is always 62. And this one we are going to get negative 10. So this one is negative 10. The next one will be 57 minus 62. Then we are going to get negative 5. 62 minus 62, we are going to get 0. 67 minus 62, we are going to get 5. 72 minus 62, we are going to get 10. And lastly here, we are going to get 15. And now after this, we are now going to have what we call DFD. And then FD is simply frequency, the frequency times deviation, which is D. So for my first case, this will be 3 times negative 15, which will be negative 45. So the first one will be negative 45. Let us now continue. 9 times negative 10. This one will be negative 90. This one will be negative 65. If you multiply, 15 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. 4 times 10 is 40. And then we have 15 times 1, which is 15. Good. Let us now continue again. After this, we need another one which we call the FD square, which is required in calculation of variance. So we call it the FD square. And then what is FD square? How can we get the FD square? FD square is the FD table, the FD values in the table multiplied by D. So in the first case, it will be FD, which is negative 45, times FD, which is negative 45, times D, which is negative 15. Times D, which is negative 15. And if you multiply that one, you are going to get it is positive 675. The next one will be negative 10 times negative 90. So negative 10 times negative 90 will be positive 900. The next one will be negative 5 times 65 times negative 65. We are going to get 325. The next one is 0 times 0, which is 0. 25 times 525. 40 times 10, we are going to get 400. 15 times 15, which is 225. So we are done with our table. We now go to calculation. Now go to calculation. We need to find the mean, the standard deviation, and the variance. So let me wrap this rough work here, please. Allow me to grant me the permission to wrap this rough work so that we can continue on calculating the mean, the standard deviation, and the variance. So let us continue. So we need to calculate the mean. So before that, we need to get the summation. That is the sum of some tables. We need to get the summation. So I need to get the sum of F. We call it sigma F. Simply means the sum of F. So sigma F simply means you add all the F. So it will be 3 plus 9 plus 13 plus 15 plus 5, what we have in the F table, plus 4 plus 1. And that one will going to give us 50. So we know that the summation for F is 50. Again, we need summation for the FD. That is the sum of FD. So what is the sum of FD? This is simply negative 45 plus negative 90 plus negative 65 plus 25 plus 40 plus 15. 0, it don't have problem. And this one is going to give us, if you add it, you're going to give us sum of FD. Here we are going to get 120. Let us continue. We also require the sum of FD square. So we just add the way we add. Let me rub this. Please grant me the permission to rub this. It's just a rough work. Let us now continue. So sum of FD square, we are obtaining it by adding 675 plus 900 plus 325 plus 125 plus all the way to 225. You just add, and then we are going to get 2650. Here we are going to get 2650. Here we are going to get the 2650. Now let me grant me the permission to rub this rough work again. Let me rub this rough work again so that we can now calculate our mean, because we have the table, so we can now easily calculate our mean, the variance, and the standard deviation. How can we get mean? We said mean in mathematics, in statistics, it is represented by x bar. So this is what we call mean. So that is mean. X bar, that is mean, is always equals to, when we use assumed mean, it should be assumed mean plus sum of FD over sum of F. Let us now continue. What is A? We already have our assumed mean is 62 plus sum of FD. Sum of FD from our table is negative 120 divided by sum of F is 50. Let us continue. This is 62 plus this one, we are going to get negative 120 divided by 50. We are going to get this 2.4. This negative 2.4. And then when you place in calculator, it will be 62 minus 2.4. And then we are going to get our mean as 59.6. That is our mean, 59.6. Our mean is 59.6. Let us go to variance, var. So we need a formula. So the formula for variance, we know that it is a sum of FD square divided by sum of F minus sum of FD over sum of F. But this one, you place it in bracket and then square it. What is sum of FD square? I already have, which is 2650 from my table, divided by sum of F. I already have sigma F, which is 50, minus sum of FD. I already have, it is bracket negative 120 over 50, and then I need to square it. So 2650 divided by 50, we are going to get, it is 53 minus, and then this one just place it in calculator, it will be negative 120 over 50, the whole of it squared. This one we are going to get, it is a positive 5.76. Then when you subtract the two, you are going to get our variance is 47.24. That is our variance. That is our variance. And then lastly, we are told to find the standard deviation, that is the SD. The standard deviation is always square root of var. And then what is my var? 47.24. The square root of 47.24 is 6.873 in 4 significant figures. Thanks so much.